My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their life and creative endeavours, and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, but also getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. You can find the link to our playlist in the show notes. Welcome to episode 37. I'm your host, Simon Fink. Our guest today is Masked Wolf. The Sydney rapper has exploded onto the world music scene and is sitting in the top 5 tracks on the Billboard chart with his song, Astronaut in the Ocean. In today's episode, we discuss music as a form of therapy, how TikTok worked in his favour, and performing on The Tonight Show. Here we go. Our guest today is one of Australia's brightest upcoming music stars. Having released his first single, Speed Racer, in 2018, to now topping the Billboard charts with Astronaut in the Ocean, the young Sydney rapper keeps going from strength to strength. Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Masked Wolf. Good morning.
What up, what up, what up? How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you today?
I'm awesome.
That's good. Now, it seems like a almost obvious thing to say, but congrats on Astro. The song is just absolutely massive. Checking it this morning, it's number 5 on the Billboard Global chart, only behind artists like Justin Bieber and Lil Nas X. For you as a young fella from Sydney, what's it like being one of the most talked about musicians in the world right now?
Very weird, to be honest. It's kind of like something that you don't believe still. I mean, when you mention those names like Justin Bieber and Lil Nas X and, Doja Cat, etc., like that are in the top 10, it's like I never ever thought my name would be put into, that mix of things or those artists. And for me, it's just like I'm very happy with where we are at the moment. And I mean, every artist that's upcoming or grinding is looking for what has happened to me. So I'm very blessed, but I'm not like taking the foot off the pedal. There's a lot more work to do.
That's very exciting to hear. When you first came up with the song, I know that the song was written with yourself and Tyrone Happy.
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction to the beat and the song when you first kind of put it together? And was it obvious at that stage that you kind of had like a bar of gold on your hands?
No, I mean, I've always been under the thought that there's millions, billions of artists out there trying to make it in millions and billions of songs. So it sounds cool. The song was great, but is it at that top 5 song in the world level? I never thought that. No, not at all. So for me, it was like, yeah, let's put it out. Let's see how it goes. We love the track and we love like the feel of it. But I mean, you can imagine what all these hit artists and writers are putting out. From my end, and my brain's telling me just enjoy the process. Astro and Speed Racer was where I started like really enjoying making music and just talking about what I wanted to talk about. And I think that's what also was a hint of like, okay, people really resonated with it and liked it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen in other press that you've referred to the track almost similar to the movie Scarface, where that it lay dormant for a little while and then people kind of catched on, to the song was massive. For you, what was that point like when you realised that the song had longer legs than you originally kind of thought?
For me, it was like, I guess it was when like really everything started like that snowball effect and building up into like that bigger snowball. Like TikTok videos started getting faster and more regular. I was getting messages about the song from people and their friends on Instagram, and then Instagram started picking up. It was really around like just a bit past the COVID period where the start of COVID, I mean, where like people were like in home, in lockdown, and they were forced to like just listen to music as something to occupy them. And that's when it really started like, I guess, turning into that massive snowball.
Were you actively on social media, like trying to push the track, or was it more a bit of a surprise that it had taken its own life? That it had taken on a life of its own on TikTok?
No, I never like even thought of it being big on TikTok. Like it just happened. But I always like sent messages or replied on the comments saying thank you for using my song. That was something I put the effort into doing because I was very surprised that it was getting that type of recognition on that platform, because it was made 2 years ago, the song. So I don't even know if TikTok was out then. You know, two years ago. So when people say it wasn't made for TikTok, it clearly wasn't, because I made it when TikTok was obviously not available to us, or I'd never heard of it. And, you know, things like, you know, all these people that are using the song, like celebrities or whatever it may be, you know, it just happened naturally and by itself.
I was going to mention I have seen some celebrities using it as well. I think there was a video of J-Lo enjoying the song as well. What has that kind of been like, seeing the song goes out to the masses, but even it's a big thing for, I think these days, for celebrities to be reposting it. What was that kind of experience like?
Well, first I was like, is that a doppelganger? Is that the real J-Lo?
Is it Jenny from the block?
Yeah. And I was like, I had a second look and I'm like, oh, that's actually her. And my like jaw literally dropped. Like my jaw doesn't drop a lot, but I remember laying on the couch and I'm like, far out, that's actually the real J-Lo dancing to my song. And the biggest part of that was she decided to use that sound. You know, she was at home or wherever by herself, and she was just having fun and she wanted to use that song and like do a video to it. So it wasn't like a promo, or you know what I mean? It was like her decision.
Yeah, 100%. I think for some, obviously, this is the Astro is probably the song that most people know you by, but this isn't a case of like overnight success or anything. You have been working hard and hustling at this for a good 13, 14, 15 years. I know that you've built a home studio and that you've been working multiple jobs to kind of, you know, fund a music career. What was your original draw card to music as a young teenager in Sydney?
I think it was just pain, to be honest. I didn't really have an outlet for what I was feeling, and then music came in as that therapeutic outlet just to get rid of my emotions or talk about what I was really feeling on the inside without people really understanding. It was just a way for me to like put words down that I didn't want to speak about, but like on the paper. And from that, like it turned in from just writing to making songs, from making songs to people telling me, hey, you're pretty good, you should continue it. And that's literally how, like, what it stemmed from.
Yeah, right. When you first started writing, how long was it? Was there that initial thought, oh, I should put music to this, or did it take a while to kind of be like, oh, no, I could?
It was just, I always did it in like a rap structure most of the time, because I was listening to American hip hop and people like Kanye, G-Unit, Eminem, they were my early influences. But then it like, it really traveled to me like developing my sound and trying to be unique. And that took like 5 to 10 years to do, obviously. So it was more about having that international quality and sound and being in my own lane.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. As I mentioned, you are a Sydney boy from Maroubra. What was the music scene like back then? Was it something where you were able to find some common peers, or was it a bit more not as probably big as it is now?
It was very tough, to be honest. I've always been solo. I haven't been linked with any other rappers that wanted to be in a group or wanted to really like helped me out in a sense. Like I didn't have that, hey, let's get together on a Friday night and let's just write lyrics. It wasn't like that. My friends played sport and my friends loved movies, and some of them were nerds and some of them were, athletes, you know what I mean? But they weren't in music. So for me, it was like my own mental battle on my solo lane to like say, you've got to keep at it. You've got to keep doing it and keep working on yourself. The scene was very tough because like a lot of people used to be very negative towards me for trying to sound American and have that American hip hop sound. So I used to cop like a lot of hate on social media for it. But I just knew, like, I just kept pushing. I just knew one day that I knew that there would always be people, no matter what, at what stage of my life, that would be like, oh, he's not sounding Aussie, I'm not going to like him. But then there would be a bunch that be like, I really like this because it sounds like he's not from Australia and he's just sounding like an international rapper. And that's just how emotion comes out for me. Like when I get behind the mic, I cannot rap in an Australian accent. It just doesn't work. I get zero emotion. So when I rap and my tone's different, or I can switch vocal tones and switch flows, it just sounds like an American style of hip hop.
Have you heard from any of those naysayers since everything's kind of blown up?
Okay, you can do this.
I know. Carvana makes it so convenient to sell your car. It's just hard to let go. My car and I have been through so much together.
But look, you already have a great offer from Carvana. That was fast.
Well, I know my license plate and VIN by heart, and those questions were easy.
You're almost there. Now to just accept the offer and schedule a pickup or drop-off.
How'd you do it? How are you so strong in letting go of your car?
Well, I already made up my mind, and Carvana's so easy.
Yeah, true. And sold.
Go to Carvana.com to sell your car the convenient way.
This summer, Instacart presents famous summer flavors coming to your front door. Or pool. Or hotel.
Your grocery delivery has arrived, sir.
That was faster than room service.
No violins in the lobby.
Oh, seriously? Anyway, sit back, relax, and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Starring your favorite snacks, drinks, and more. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Rated H for hungry audiences. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
I usually block them.
Smart move. I know that you lived with your grandparents as you were growing up, and I feel that there's two kind of cliches when it comes to grandparents. One is that they're always very supportive of whatever their grandkids do, and two is that they're not always accepting of like new music or like current music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What were your grandparents like when you were kind of showing them what you were doing, and also, I
never showed them. Never. No, they had no idea what I was doing. They just thought I was making heaps of loud sounds in my room, and they always came in and told me to be quiet. Literally, that's all that happened. Like I'd be rapping, and they'd just knock on and be like, in Greek, they would say like, shut up, basically.
Yeah.
Not in a negative way, but just like, and I'm like, oh, sorry, So for me, they were third generation, Is that right? Third generation? Well, they were born in Greece, put it that way. Mm-hmm. I might have said that wrong. So they immigrated over, and for them, it's a whole new world. Like, what is rap music? They most probably never listened to rap music in their life. And then like being in the same house as me for like 10 years, us being together, it's like, I was young, energetic, sports, rap, gaming, like it's a whole new world to them. So for me, it was like, I wouldn't say that they were supportive, but the only reason they weren't supportive was because they had no idea what was going on and what I wanted to like achieve. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like a bad, negative type of way. So yeah, it is what it is, and it's made me like who I am. But I wish I spoke more Greek so I could say, hey, I'm rapping over here.
Do they, I guess, have an understanding, or what are their thoughts on what's happened now?
They're both passed now, unfortunately. So
sorry, but
that's all right. So I think it was like about maybe 5 to 7 years ago. So it's a bit of a while back, but yeah, I'm sure they'd be like, "Oh, my grandson's a little superstar now," or my mum would just be constantly saying to them everything that's happening, because that's how my mum is.
That's very fair. I feel like that's how all mums are, but they're very proud of their sons.
Yeah.
as you mentioned, Astro does kind of deal with some serious lyrical content in terms of dealing with anxiety or depression and kind of tackling that head on. When you first started writing it, was there any apprehension in kind of being as direct or raw with the lyrics?
I never ever spoke about that stuff when I started. Maybe up until like literally 26, 27. So maybe like 10 to 13 years of rapping, I never spoke about that stuff. And that's where the jump, I think, changed. It was like I recorded Speed Racer, and that was about like not taking shortcuts and believing in the process and progress. And then I went into Astro, where I just started hitting things on the nail, like on the head of the nail, and just really saying, okay, it's time to shut up and really speak about like what you're feeling. And I guess it worked because people, I guess, are attached and they connect with the lyrics.
Do you think that it's important for, regardless whether it's rap or folk or pop or whatever, that there is more focus on mental health these days? Because I feel like it is kind of, you're noticing it more and more, and it is becoming more acceptable to talk about these things.
I think it's a lot of pressure to say for every rapper to speak about a subject they may not have full value in. I think that the topic is very important, but it doesn't have to be revolved around rap. Like for me, I'm speaking about my own personal struggles, and that's what I want to rap about and how I want to rap. So for me, it's more like, yes, the situation and the topic is very sensitive and it should be spoken about a bit more, but in all areas, not just music. I mean, music is your soul food, and if you haven't been in mental depression or anxiety, there's no reason you should be talking about it, because you don't know the true connection and feeling of it. So for me, it's like, if you want to rap about whatever, Gucci Gang, whatever, do your thing. If it makes you happy and it makes a listener happy, then there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, like it's always more about having a storyline and a message. It doesn't always have to be about pain and mental depression and those sensitive topics. But if I feel like there's parts in the song I can talk about it, I will, but there always has to be a storyline and a connection. Yeah.
No, that's very fair. I can definitely respect that. Now that, again, the song has gone massive, and I know you've signed to a US label as well, can we expect more new music in the coming year or so?
You can expect more new music within the next 2 to 3 weeks and the next 5 to 6 weeks.
That's very exciting.
Yes. So I'm working on the album at the moment, working on singles still, and working on the tour with the guys, but COVID, obviously being COVID. Yeah. So yeah, it's everything that you can think is happening, and it's going to be awesome. So yeah,
that's very exciting. With the new record deal and the again, the fact that we are including you in sentences with people like Bieber and Lil Nas X, has anyone kind of come knocking on the door for the album, or any collaborations that we should be aware of or should be excited about?
There's definitely collaborations with international artists that you will definitely know their names. And that'll start happening within the next 3 weeks, I would say. So
that's very fair. I understand that it's yeah. can't be spoken about.
Can't say
exactly.
Yeah.
This morning you announced that you're performing on Jimmy Fallon tomorrow night. What does that feel like? Because I feel like for yourself, it is literally just going strength to strength to strength to strength.
Yeah, it's why I have this cough, because we were in like a 14-hour shoot, and went non-stop on my voice. But yeah, it's nuts to think I'm on like a very, very popular late show or tonight show. It's going to be one of the most epic live visuals and performances I think any people have seen in Australia for a long time. It's a lot of effort and money has been put into this, because we believe that, the song is obviously doing very well, and that this was a big and is a big opportunity. I mean, I don't know what Australian rapper is able to say that they got on the Jimmy Fallon show or any show like this. So, I mean, as I say to everyone, like, this is my window of opportunity, and we're like taking it by the crux and absolutely like full steam ahead. So you're going to see that, which is Saturday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. I think 1:30 p.m. is the show, but I mean, you won't be able to watch it if you don't have whatever, a VPN or whatever, how they operate. So
we'll make sure that by the time this episode is out, which is in a few days, it should have aired. So we'll make sure we put it in the show notes so people can watch what we're talking about.
Awesome. Thank you.
No, of course. Usually on our show, we would chat to people about what they're listening to as well. Is there any current album or albums that you're really kind of getting into or enjoying at the moment?
No, I just usually listen, like I have a Wolfpack playlist and I don't drive a lot. So really, like when I do drive, it's like, okay, I'll put the playlist on. I'm really, really enjoying the new Rap Star song by Polo G. Mm-hmm. It's more like these singles that come out and I like get addicted to them and I just nonstop listen to these songs over and over for like a week or 2 weeks straight. And then I'm like, okay, let's see if we can find something else. And then that's how I work. It's weird. So yeah.
When you are like coming across them, do you have a certain method to find new songs, or is it kind of what's trending or what's in the charts?
I like this. Yeah, no, I like the surprise. It's like you could be in like the playlist with 2,000 followers and then it's like, hey, what's this? And I've never heard of this person before. And it's like just a really good song. So for me, there's no like method. It's just like, I'm not a big like listening to an album person. Like I can't remember the last time I probably listened to an album besides My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And that was like years ago, decade. So for me, it's like, just enjoy a song and I'll just help with their streams and play it like 100 times a week.
That's very fair. No, I get that. Mars Wolf, thank you very much for your time today. I do appreciate it. I know we had a bit of time, but thank you for being on the podcast.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Mars Wolf for his time. Astronaut in the Ocean is out now and available anywhere you stream music. As promised, we've left links in the show notes if you'd like to watch his Tonight Show performance or just stream the track. We also want to give a huge shout out to Emilie at Warner Music Australia for helping out with today's interview. You can find a link to our Spotify playlist in the show notes, where you'll be able to listen to all of our guest picks. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are released. We release new shows each Thursday and Friday morning, with guest playlists streaming on Spotify at the same time. You can follow the playlist profile on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week, cheers.
Never sleep hot again with Bowl and Branch's best-selling naturally cooling sheets. They feel super crisp and cool to the touch and are expertly designed for enhanced breathability so you don't overheat at night. Start getting your best night's sleep this summer with cooling sheets made with the highest quality materials. Try Bowl and Branch with a 30-night worry-free guarantee. Plus, get 15% off and free shipping on your first set of sheets at bowlandbranch.com with code BUTTERY. Exclusions apply. See site for details.